Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz EV. Boundlessly capable all-electric EQS SUV from Mercedes-Benz. Vehicle all-electric. Feeling all Mercedes. Learn more at MBUSA.com/EQS-SUV. Seton, what's the poll question we're going to go with? Then we'll talk to our good buddy, former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas.
We're going to put up there right now, cutting Russell Wilson at the cost of $85 million over the next 2 years is crazy or worth it?
Okay. Crazy?
That's tough. Classic crazy or worth it game.
Okay.
That we always do.
Okay. All right. Crazy or worth it?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds crazy, and I don't know if it'll be worth it because I don't know what they're going to do with their quarterbacking position. Where are they going to be in 2 years?
Yeah. That's why it's a tricky question.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because you don't know the answer to it yet.
Okay. All right. Gilbert Arenas, three-time NBA All-Star with the Wizards, co-host of Gil's Arena podcast. And you can find that Monday through Thursday, Gil's Arena YouTube channel at 2:30 Eastern, joining us on the program. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing okay. I was wondering about this with LeBron James. He said, kind of back off, my son, let my kid be a kid, when people are, saying, is he going to be a first-round pick? You're the guy who said he could play for the Lakers right now. And he's clearly struggling at USC. Your son, I think, is a sophomore in high school?
Yes.
Okay. At what point should we be able to look at your son? And your son just scored, 53 points in a playoff game?
Yeah.
Okay. So it kind of goes with the territory, former NBA player, and we're going to be assessing your son's talents. But at what point can we start to project that you're comfortable with as a father?
As a father, it's mostly we're in protective mode, right? It's not the competitive part of us, when it comes to our children. So it's more of the father of LeBron that's coming out like, let's calm down, let him get to where he needs to be before the criticism kicks in. That's all it is. He knows, Bronny is not where he wants to be. They had the situation last with like before the season started. He hasn't got off to a good start, but they have some good players over there. He's not having a NBA enter the league season, but his body style, how he plays the game, he's a 3-and-D type of guy. He's more like a Drew Holiday. So I'm pretty sure he's going to test the waters to see, if he's an NBA player this year. If not, he's going to go back into college.
Yeah, I would like to see him have another full year at USC where he's healthy, because he's not one of the better players on his team. I mean, he's got, Isaiah Collier is a wonderful player as a, freshman, but I think it would help him. I mean, it's a lot of pressure. I don't know if your son has ever said to you how much pressure he may feel, and he's only a sophomore in high school, of trying to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, after his freshman year, I said, don't worry about trying to live up to, my footsteps, because at the same time, you're way better than me. And my job as a father is to instill the things that I learned as an NBA player into you now. So you should be better than me. Are you going to be better than me once you get to college or pros? We don't know. But as a high school player, you're far better than me, so that pressure should be gone. Now let's just get better.
What's recruiting like?
It's been crazy, but I tell them all of it is fake. They're not they're not recruiting a sophomore to come in right now. Just the ideal of giving you a letter is all this is about. This is more about hype. It's not real. If you accept a scholarship today, in 2 years they can take that back. It's not cemented.
Binding.
Yeah. So,
but are we talking UCLA, Arizona, USC?
Arizona's came in. I don't think UCLA's came in, but Kentucky, Kansas. All the big schools.
The Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Can your son beat you one-on-one?
No, because I cheat.
But if you didn't play old man basketball,
Oh yeah.
He would
If
be.
I didn't yeah, because I have to guard him. And with all the new moves that this school has, it's kind of I don't want to run around like that. But just like if we just had to stay one dribble or two, yeah, I don't think he could beat me.
He's Gilbert Arenas, the Gil's Arena podcast, a 3-time All-Star with the Wizards. Help me understand what you were saying when you were talking about European players.
Woo!
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, there was fire there.
Uh-huh.
The NBA took away aggression. They took away aggression to open up the EuroLeague. When they first started getting here, it was too rough for them. You're talking about Europeans. They didn't make it. Eventually, they softened the rules. They didn't soften the rules for the Americans. They softened the rules to open up international. Also talked about they don't play defense, not athletic. What are you trying to say here, Gilbert?
No. Okay, so the idea at the All-Star break was, how do we change the game back to more defense? Everything became about defense. How do we make it more defensive and competitive? And my whole thing then was, why aren't you crediting the offense? The offense just got better. There's element in this game that's gotten better, and you can't rewind what you did. And what was done probably mid-2000s is trying to figure out how we can make this game, the game global, okay, right? And by opening up the game global means bringing the internationals. So if you think about like how the game was in the early 2000s, it was a lot of physical play, right? Only, like Dirk was, there was really only 3 or 4 European players that really survived in that brute type of era. So it was one of the ideas of just like making it a 3-point, the D'Antoni system come in, giving that type of system legs to move up and down, no defense, just scoring 7 seconds, no defense, no foul, threes and layups. It was the D'Antoni system.
But Gilbert, is there a difference between soft and finesse?
It's the same. It depends. But finesse and soft is the same, right? It's not. It's one and the same.
Okay, you go on to say you go to college to learn defense. What college do Europeans go to? They have no athleticism. They have no speed, no jumping ability. They're a liability on defense. There are 150 Euros in the league today. Name the top defenders. And then you mentioned that Giannis is in there and Rudy Gobert. Other than that, they're just offensive players.
Yes.
And that's bad for the NBA.
No, it's great for the NBA because it opened up scoring.
But you're saying it's bad for the NBA because these guys, the league is softer. The fact that LeBron at 39 is averaging 25 a game, you point that out as well. So you would like to go back to when it was more physical.
No, it's bad. It's bad. Like the Euro is bad if you want defense in. So I'm saying the Euros expanded this game. They bring in the 5-man that can shoot the 3, which means the court is open. So now, because the court is open, all the athletic guys can get to the rim. So it became a very great game offensively. So if you want to push the idea of we want defense, then let's say, okay, well, take away the guys that expanded this game. If you don't like that idea, then be quiet. It was more of the sarcastic way of saying, just leave the game the way it is because it's expanded. There's no more Shaquille O'Neal's and the dinosaur power force that sit down there and play brute game. These guys are coming in at 6'10", 6'11", 7'6", and they can shoot the 3. So now that they can shoot the 3, guys who are just athletic can live better too. So it's popularized the game. So it's gonna just get better because.
Well, wait, I'm having a hard time following what your message is because it sounds like you're anti-European, that they've ruined the game and it's bad for American players.
No. See, so that was the sarcastic part. If you're saying the game is being ruined because there's no defense, then I'm saying, okay, the guys who made it more offensively great, who brought in more money into the game, they did it because of their skill. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like the way the game is now, then blame them. And since you're not going to blame them, then just be quiet of the whole idea of putting in all these new rules. Because if you put in a 3 second, there's no 3 seconds, everyone's going to shoot more threes. So that's not going to help. You put in the hand checking. That's not going to help. So just let it go. Just enjoy the game for what it is.
You don't
so
think
I'm for offense.
You don't think the Joker could survive back in the 90s?
Yeah, the Joker. Okay, so think about what I'm saying. So if we wanted to go into that part of it, the Euros that are really expanding this game are all big men. Right? You take out Luka, who is your next best Euro point guard? Right? And then who is your top Euro shooting guards? Who is your top Euro small forwards? So it's just the bigs. Even back then, most of the Euro bigs are the ones that's coming into this league dominating because they have a skill that the American bigs do not have. I mean, you have Wagner, who they put at the shooting guard sometimes. He's 6'11". That's where the game has changed. You can't rewind it.
I think
back.
It's Wagner, by the way, not
Wagner.
Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner.
I mean, let's pronounce it correctly. European style. European style.
Yeah, so for an American style, for an athletic kid, the Euro has done something that we're just not teaching over here, and that's skilled. That's team. That's the understanding of the game overall. So when you have them in the game and they're pushing the limits, that means everything goes up. Popularity goes up, money goes up, right? If the game didn't expand to like a Euro style, there wouldn't be $350 million contracts. No. That's the Euro style. So if you don't like where the game is, then let's blame. And it was the more sarcastic way of saying, if you don't like the way the game is, then blame the Euros, and then let's go back to 1985 basketball and see how you like that one.
And then you said no one would guard Iverson. They couldn't guard Iverson in today's game?
No. I mean, he's one of those specialty players because you're going to look at his field goal percentage, which is not the real field goal percentage if you put him in today's game because their game is wide open. There's no Eric Snows and all of that will be on his team, right? So now you have a guy who's 6'1", 6'2", if that.
What was peak Iverson like?
Peak Iverson was demanding all five guys to pay attention to him. Every single guy on that floor was trying to stop Iverson. So we were loading up boxes and elbows, right? We knew he was going all right, but but he's 160 pounds, right? That doesn't exist in today's game, right? A guy who's fast, quick, 60 pounds, coming through the lane, full speed. So he had the mentality of a Westbrook, and he was trying to score 50. That's the difference. Like when Luka and Jokic come into the game, they're not trying to score 50, right? If they're going to get it because of how they play, but they're not trying. It's like Westbrook mixed with Giannis, mixed with someone who's 160 pounds.
But Kobe would try to score 50 a night.
Yes. Like from my era, you have Kobe, you have Allen Iverson. That's about it.
Tracy McGrady?
Tracy, but there's a lot more players like Tracy here. But because of who Tracy was, right? You're giving the guys more attempts now, right? So it's not like what Iverson doing. Like you got to take his percentage versus the volume of where his team was shooting. So if they're only taking 80 shots and he was taking 25% of them, you just move it up and see. So he'd be about 39 to 41. But, it's one of those.
Wait, that's what he would average?
Probably. Like me, you give me more shooting, I'll just have more assists. So I'll get into like the 30, like average 29, maybe 33, 32. I'll go from 6 assists maybe to 10. Like I'll have more assists with this new style. Yeah. Not necessarily more scoring.
It's great to catch up with you.
It was more of a sarcastic way.
Okay,
of
all right. Yeah. I wouldn't go to Europe anytime soon if I were you. Just
but that's my gift. Like throwing it out there so everyone can just take it and dissect it.
Oh, I see what you did.
I see how I am.
Okay, I see how you did that.
I get them good.
All right. Hey, congrats and good luck with your son.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Gilbert Arenas, 3-time NBA All-Star with the Wizards and co-host of Gil's Arena podcast. You know, when I read it, I went, oh, is he going to get torched here? Because Gilbert didn't exactly play lockdown defense, just saying. You know, he was known as a scorer. He might have been a Euro without knowing that he was a Euro.
It's Gilbert.
Gilbert
Arenas.
There's a tilde in there somewhere.
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
When he was at Arizona, I thought he was a European player. Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas.
Ooh, the roll.
Ah,
Muy bien.
yes. Let's take a break. Play of the day up next.